Okay, friends. So today we're gonna read um, one of the traditional Russian fairy tales called Sister Alyonushka and Brother Ivanushka. Okay. Once upon a time, there were an old man and woman who had a daughter named Alyonushka and a young son named Ivanushka. The old couple died, and Alyonushka and Ivanushka were left alone without anybody in the whole wide world. Alyonushka went out to work and took her brother with her. They walked a long way through the fields, and Ivanushka grew thirsty. Sister Alyonushka, I want to drink. Wait, little brother, until we get to the well. They walked and walked. The sun stood high in the sky. The well was still far off, and the heat was stifling. They came to a kettle through full, uh, through full of water. Kettle throw full of water. Sister Alyonushka, let me take a sip from the trough. I don't know what a trough is. Don't drink, little brother, or you'll turn into a calf. Ivanushka obeyed her, and they walked on. The sun stood high in the sky. The well was still far off, and the heat was stifling. They came to a horse trough full of water. Sister Alyonushka, let me take a sip from the trough. Don't drink, little brother, or you'll turn into a foal. Ivanushka sighed, and they walked on again. They walked and walked. The sun stood high in the sky. The well was still far off, and the heat was stifling. They came to a goat trough full of water. Ivanushka said, Sister Alyonushka, I can't go on. I must drink from this trough. Don't drink, little brother, or you'll turn into a kid. Ivanushka did not heed her and drank his fill from the trough. He slaked his thirst and turned into a kid. Alyonushka called to her brother, but instead of Ivanushka, a little white goat came running after her. Alyonushka burst into tears. She sat down under a haystack to cry, while the kid gamboled around her. Just then, a merchant drove by in his cart. Why are you crying, beautiful maiden? Alyonushka told her of her misfortune. The merchant said, Well, why don't you marry me? I'll dress you in gold and silver, and the little goat will live with us. Alyonushka thought and agreed to marry the merchant. She moved into his house, and they all lived together. The goat ate and drank with them. Once, when the merchant was away, a witch appeared from out of nowhere. She stood under Alyonushka's window and called her to come and bathe in the river. She was so persuasive that Alyonushka did go down to the river with her. When they got there, the witch seized Alyonushka, fastened a stone round her neck, and threw her into the water. Then the witch made herself the very image of Alyonushka, dressed in her clothes, and went into her house. Nobody noticed the change. Even the merchant, when he came back, believed that she was Alyonushka. Only the little goat knew the truth. He pinned away, refusing to eat or drink. Morning and evening he went down to the river bank and called out, Alyonushka, sister dear, come out of the river and back to me here. The witch found out and began asking her husband to slaughter the kid. The merchant felt sorry for the little goat, as he had grown very fond of him. But the witch nagged so much that at last he agreed. The witch commanded the servant to build fires in the yard. to heat the iron cauldrons and to sharpen the knives. The goat, the goat released, the goat realized that he had not long to live and said to his foster father, "Before I die, let me go down to the river and drink some water. It will clean out my insides." "Very well, off you go." The little goat ran down to the river, stood on the bank, and called out in a plaintive voice, "Alyonushka, sister dear, come out of the river and back to me here. The fires are burning, the cauldrons are boiling, the knives are sharpening. You're going to, they're going to slit my throat." And from the river, Alyonushka answered him, "Oh, little brother Ivanushka, a heavy stone weighs me down. The weeds have twined my legs around. How hard it is to drown." By now, the witch was looking for the kid and sent a servant down to the river. "Go and find the little goat and bring him back to me." The servant went down to the river and saw the little creature running up and down the bank and calling out in a plaintive voice, "Alyonushka, sister dear, come out of the river and back to me here. The fires are a burning, the cauldrons a boiling, the knives a sharpening. They're going to slit my throat." And from the river the answer came, "Oh, little brother Ivanushka, a heavy stone weighs me down. The weeds have twined my legs around. How hard it is to drown." The servant rushed back to the house and told the merchant what he had heard. They got a party together, went down, and dragged the river. They found Alyonushka and pulled her out. They untied the stone from her neck, plunged her in spring water, and dressed her in a fine dress. Alyonushka came back to life and became more beautiful than before. The little goat was so delighted that he jumped head over heels 3 times and turned back into a boy. The witch was seized, tied to a horse tail, and driven out into the steppe. The end. So this took us a few minutes, and then we will see what the folk tale really means in a separate video. For now, just please write your comments, put your likes, and write in the comments what you think, how you see it, and I'll do another video to reveal what this tale contains. Okay, take care, everybody. My friends, goodbye.